Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, we're in the studio, we're live, so make sure you get involved in all the chat and the comments. We're going to be talking about all the latest Manchester United news. It feels like, doesn't it, that we're in that sort of stage in the season now where we start looking ahead towards the summer transfers, what is happening, who are Manchester United bringing in, who are we going to have to sell for starters to bring in anyone. We're going to get into all that. We've been linked with a couple of players. We've been linked with the never-ending saga that is Jarrad Brathwaite's move to Manchester United. So we'll get into that. Plus there's a couple of others as well. So make sure you are hitting that like button. Let's just get straight into it then, shall we? Should we talk about Branthwaite? There's loads of people, in the chat already. The usual suspects, Brian Casey, Santa Notch. Who else have we got in here? Brenaldinho, Matt Rothwell. Anyway, let's talk about this story. This is from the Mail, I believe. Says, Man United are ready to meet Jarrad Brathwaite's valuation to make him their next defensive, that's not the word, defensive kingpin. So I think this originally has come from the Sun. Hashtag don't buy the Sun. We will never see a Sun story put on that screen. Trust me on that one. But we've gone via the Mail. And also, this has been doing the rounds for a little while now. It does feel as though there is unfinished business when it comes to Manchester United and Jarrad Brathwaite. We were in for him, I think was it last summer. But Everton wanted around 70 million quid. United weren't prepared to pay it. So we walked away from that deal. I do feel as though United do need a centre-back this summer, though. Now, you look at it, you go, OK, look, Jay, come on. We brought in De Ligt in the summer. We brought in Mazraoui, who can play as part of a back three. We brought in Aidan Heaven, then in the January transfer window, who, despite his injury, looks like he's ready to come into the first team. Plus, you've got players who are bit further down the line, players like Godwill Kakonkie and one or two others. So are we really, in that dire straits? You've got Lisandro Martinez, he's going to come out from injury. Harry Maguire's still here. Lenny Yoro, of course. There are options there. I do feel, though, United are still lacking, and I do feel like we need reinforcements. We need at least one centre-back this summer. I'd be very, very surprised if we didn't buy one. And if you look, the reason I think that is because we do have injuries. Yes, I get that, but there's no reason to think we won't continue to still have injuries next season. That might still be an issue for us. And at the minute, you've got someone like Victor Lindelof still getting minutes and games for Manchester United. And I'm not trying to hate on Victor Lindelof, but I think we need to be brutally honest about the levels he's at. He's not been good enough for about 2 years, and he still plays for Manchester United. He still starts sometimes for Manchester United. That shows you we're short. Plus, you're going to lose Johnny Evans. I know he's not featured for a while in the summer. I think he's, his time is done. So you do need someone else. If you're going to play three at the back, then you need another defender, in my opinion. People might say, well, Luke Shaw can play as a centre-back. Oh, can he? When? When's the last time he started a game for Manchester United? Was it February? And I don't mean February just gone. I mean February 2024. So I just don't see how United can go into the next season without adding a centre-back. And I feel like Jarrad Brathwaite, the interest is obviously there. There's been, Branthwaite's United rumours almost forever. Everton are a club that do sell players. You can get players from Everton. It's not like, oh, well, we're not going to be able to buy him from Everton. We've bought players in the past from Everton. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was more in it than this. Now, it says here, Everton rejected 2 bids from United in the summer, including the second offer of 45 million plus 5 million add-ons, as they wanted 70 million. But Branthwaite, whose contract expires in 2027, is apparently willing to listen to Manchester United. 1-1 condition. Well, that's not the right word. He will, sorry to be pedantic, but come on. He will only move to Old Trafford if Ruben Amorim leads them into the Champions League, which he can do via the Europa League. Will he, though? Is that a line in the sand for him? I'm not so sure, I get it. Like, do you really want to join United if we haven't got Champions League football? Probably not. Well, maybe not, I should say. Because I still feel like you can get a player of the calibre of Jarrad Brathwaite without Champions League football. I do. I think it's possible. I know it's an attractive proposition to play for a Champions League club. And he's been at Everton. He's probably like, look, we're never getting into the Champions League here. I want to go to a club that is in the Champions League. However, I feel as though if you can sell him, or sell it, the United project, if you will, I hate that word, but let's be honest, the United project of Jarrad Brathwaite and say, look, we might not be in the Champions League this season, but we're bringing in you, other players, we've got a good young squad, you can see the investment in it. We're going to have a new stadium and everything. This is a club that's moving forward. We need to get back into the Champions League. We want you to be part of it. Would he be willing to listen to that? Would he be willing to say, okay then? Because look, let's have it right. Someone like Aidan Heaven, of course, was at Arsenal. Could have stayed at Arsenal. Would have played Champions League football undoubtedly next season or the season after even at Arsenal. They've been in the Champions League now consistently for the last 3 years. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. But he left, as did Chido Obe. They left and came to Manchester United because they could, believe the idea that Manchester United are moving forward. And also, let's not forget, United are the biggest club in England. Easily. Like, the only ones who get slightly close in terms of stature and size and history and all the rest of it are Liverpool. And they're not as big as us. And also, Everton are never going to sell a player to Liverpool. I doubt he'd even want to go. So, the best option for him, in some ways, would be Manchester United. Now, you might argue, well, if he goes to City or he goes to Arsenal, whatever, it's almost guaranteed Champions League football. I understand all that, but there's a good chance United are going to get back into the Champions League sooner rather than later. It might not be this season, but it could be next season. It might even be this season, but it could be next season. We could get into those Champions League spots in the season 25-26, and then obviously be in the 26 season Champions League if you can keep up with all that. So I'm not so sure that would definitely close the door on him. Let me know what you think about Jarrad Brathwaite. I know Steve did a video, he wasn't mad keen on him on the ball, but also I think with players, we're too quick to dismiss them, aren't we, or judge them at an early age. And I know Jarrad Brathwaite has been around for quite some time now, let's not pretend, but he's still only 22. He's also been in an Everton team that struggled. Like, Sean Dyche didn't get sacked because everything was going great. He was sacked because he was struggling. So, we'll have to wait and see. The only slight... I don't even know if this is a thing. I might be getting this completely wrong. What has he played? 22 games this season? Yeah. I thought he'd missed a few games from injury, and he literally has missed a few, not many. So he played 35 games last season in the Premier League, 22 this season so far. So he is, he does playing pretty much all the games, so I don't think we can say he's injury prone or anything like that. Ant Elsis do not like Branthwaite. He has some major flaws in his game and would cost far too much. Mick Holohan agrees, not a fan of, to be honest, of Jarrad. Brian Casey though says if we can get him for around 40 million, then maybe, but I'd rather go for Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth, still young and already looks impressive. Mr. Sal says classic overpay for an English player. Forgive me. CTB says if the price is right, 70 million is ridiculous, 30 million about right. Graham Sharkey says never mind all this, Jay, you've seen the new JFK files, get that on the brew. I think we've got a special guest for the brew, but we'll talk about JFK sooner rather than later on the brew because it's the kind of thing we'll talk about. Joe Leeming says, saw you last night at Shane Gillis, did you enjoy it, brother? Yes, I was there, and yes, I did enjoy it. Hilarious. He told one story in particular that had me absolutely crying with laughter. It was a really good night, even if it was down near the Etihad. But it was, he was mint. Also, a couple of United jokes in there. Talk about Garnacho and Ruud van Nistelrooy, which I didn't see coming, but there you go. Let's talk about Nmecha. So, you can see this here in the Daily Mail. It says, Man United make sudden move. Why are all these headlines in inverted commas? Have you noticed that? It's like, United... make bid. United ready to sign. United open talks. United make sudden move for £40 million. Borussia Dortmund star, who the Germans don't, in capitals in case you were confused, want to sell, but could be forced to add to transfer fire sale. United are reportedly keen on signing a Borussia Dortmund star. Yeah, okay, well, who is it? The club are keen to keep the player, but may be forced in selling him. And then it goes on to say, Manchester United are keen on signing Borussia Dortmund star Felix Nmecha. According to reports, the Red Devils were looking to freshen up their squad during the summer window after a largely disappointing campaign in Ruben Amorim's season at the club. I think we had this morning, or this story was doing the rounds this morning. There's been a bit of an update, but yeah, this is another player that we have been looking at. I've seen a few other publications publishing this and running this story as well about Felix Nmecha. We've gone with the Daily Mail one. This is, I think it was from yesterday morning, but there's been a few more today. It does feel like there might be something in this. I spoke about it yesterday though. He was at City when he went to Dortmund, where we heard that before. I'm sure you can all agree. You can't just dismiss someone because they've had the same sort of similar-ish career trajectory as Jadon Sancho. Let's talk about Rasmus Hojlund. He's been back amongst the goals, hasn't he, recently? Scored for United against Leicester, ending a 21-game goal drought. He's now scored for his country as well against Portugal, and he did the Cristiano Ronaldo celebration, the Sue celebration, which is, some would say that is a little bit cheeky there. There you can see Cristiano Ronaldo looking like he's, well, I know you can see the back of his head, but his body language, I get the impression that he's fuming there, Ronaldo. The impression he's thinking, what's he up to, the little weasel? So it says here, Denmark have scored 3 goals. Right, we don't care about that. So it says here, Rasmus Hojlund defended his celebration after coming off the bench to score the winner for Denmark against Portugal, saying he wasn't mocking his idol, Cristiano Ronaldo. The Manchester United forward produced a calm finish from Andreas Skov Olsen's cross to secure the win in the first leg of their Nations League quarter-final. Genuine question, right? Does anyone care about the Nations League? Is it a thing? Like, do people, like, really care? Do you lot care about the Nations League?
It's better than what it used to be.
Just getting I've got my finger on the pulse here with the lads in the production team. Straw Paul, who cares about the production league?
Right.
No, none of them. No.
I think it seems like countries maybe care about it a little bit more. Like, it seems fairly hyped up from other countries last night.
Harvey, our social media guru, has gone all woke, and he says that countries care about it. Think of the other countries, Jay. All right, soz. Do you know what? I'm the last person to act though, because I don't really care that much about international football. If there's a tournament and United players are in it, then yeah, I'm all about it. Nations League, I've not really got into, but as Harvey's pointed out, some countries do care about it. Colin Coupleditch says international football in general is meh. I agree. Adam Kenny says Nations League. You won't like this one, Ethan. Adam Kenny says Nation League is the Carabao Cup of international football. So, yeah. It's class then, says producer Ethan. If you've not checked it out on the members section, go and see his vlog. His big day out, Ethan's big day out at Wembley. Go out and watch Newcastle. You think, why are you putting a Newcastle fan on a United members vid? Because they beat the Scousers, and that's what matters. That's what counts. That's the real quiz. Jacoya Trot says, barely noticed Nations League. Santa Notch says, I cared about it until Italy lost last night. Santa Notch, obviously an Italian fan. Hit that like button, please, people. We've not even got to 100 likes. What is going on? Just shut up. Put that on the screen. Right, is it me or is just all footballers mad? Like, I mean, back in the day, right, a footballer could have a full-on fist fight with another player on the pitch and then go for a beer afterwards. And now it's like footballers do something that's mildly, taking the mick. You remember like Miles Lewis-Skelly did the old Erling Haaland celebration, and there was like a public inquiry into it. Like, people go, oh, was he out of order? Was it disrespectful? It was this 17-year-old who's just scored against the champions and he did a celebration and people wanted to dissect it like he'd ran over to Pep and chinned him. Rasmus Hojlund here on his celebration says, the 7-year-old fan in me might have gotten the overhand after I scored. I mean, is that a bit of an apology, that? Is that a bit of an explanation? It feels like it is. I don't think he should do. You did a celebration. You just scored for your country. You did the famous Ronaldo celebration. I don't have a problem with that. Do what you got to do, kid. Jacoya Trot says the Ethan video was mint. What's Kieran said? I can't find it because everyone's agreeing with him and I can't see the actual thing they're agreeing with. I don't know if that's true, Matthew Baker, what you're saying there. Kevin Rees says, I can't see us paying crazy money for players anymore. Most press reports are nonsense, Jay. Until we know who we can sell and whether we are playing in Europe, we won't know what the budget is. I agree with that to a certain extent. I think you don't know the exact budget, but I do think United have to buy some reinforcements. We have to spend some money. And I think we might actually start having to look at these players now. I think we have to start scouting them now. We have to start looking at how we're going to pay for them now. I don't think we can just wait till the summer and see what happens. There has to be a little bit of preparation going in already. Hit that like button, please, people. We're over 115 likes. 115 likes, 115, wherever you heard that before. Let's talk about an old favourite on this channel, Paul Labille Pogba. Yes, where would we be without a Paul Pogba story? We've only had about 8 million since this channel started and probably loads more in the full-time Devils days. But it says here in the evening news, Paul Pogba sends message amid Man United return links as soon as possible. He does this all the time, doesn't he, Pogba? Like, he'll post something that's relatively cryptic and then people go, oh, does that mean he's coming to United? He's not got a club. I think he can sign for someone else now, or sign for someone now. So he's able to return, it says in the evening news, to playing football after serving an 18-month ban for testing positive for banned substance DHEA. The ban was reduced from 4 years on appeal. Look, I think Paul Pogba coming back to United would be a disaster. I just do. for a multitude of reasons. What is he, 32 now, right? He's not going to come back and be better than he used to be. He's just had 18 months off playing football, right? He's in his 30s, so he's not going to age like wine. After he's not played for ages, he's going to come back. It's going to take him a while to get going, get used to the pace of the Premier League again, all that sort of stuff, get used to playing football again. Plus, you're going to have that whole issue of the way he was treated by the fans last time. I don't know if he's going to be sort of coming in here with like dead keen and happy about the way he was treated. I don't even know if he'd really be fully on board. Obviously, he's got to be if he's going to sign. It might be like, oh, he's going to sign for United because we're still a big club and he doesn't have any other offers. I just think as a whole, that move would be terrible. Let me know what you think. So this is what he said. He said, I was here training, enjoying myself with the Zico shirt. Thank you, Zico, again. So we're here in Miami, trying to get fit as soon as possible. You know the story. I'm here and there's some fans around, United fans and Barcelona fans. Big up to all them. This is gentleman, the Barcelona fan, tried to challenge me. So, look, I don't know where it's going to end up, but I don't think it will be United and I don't think it should be. Let me know what you think. Get involved in the chat in the comments because it's a free, and that's the only thing. People go, oh, you can get him in for the last little bit of the season on a free transfer. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm going to wrap it up there. I think that's about it for today. Make sure, if you're not doing so already, you are subscribing to the channel. We're going to be back a little bit later on. We've got The Brew, of course. It's going to be me, Steve. I think Carl Anker's joining us from that one, from The Athletic. So you don't want to miss out on that one. I've been Jay Motty. This has been The Paper Talk. Thanks for watching.